What if America's trade war actually worked? What if the tariffs that everyone mocked and feared turned out to be the greatest economic power play in modern history? Because that's exactly what's happening. A quiet revolution is taking place on the global stage. Nations across the world are slashing tariffs on U.S. goods. Trump's trade reset is no longer theory. It's results. Chapter 1. The headline that changed everything. Kosovo just suspended all tariffs on American imports. That might seem small, but it's a signal. And not just to the Balkans. It's a ripple in a much bigger wave. Because behind the scenes, a global pattern is forming. Nations once hesitant, or hostile, are now cutting deals, slashing rates, and pivoting to avoid Trump's tariff hammer. And they're doing it early, before the next big squeeze begins. Chapter 2. Japan, Israel, Taiwan, the ally discount. U.S. allies are leading the charge. Japan has reduced tariffs across multiple sectors, including agriculture and industrial parts. Taiwan slashed rates on American tech goods and is fast-tracking mutual trade agreements. Israel and Switzerland, already low-tariff partners, are pushing reciprocal deals down from 17% to near zero. These aren't anti-China moves. They're pro-U.S. hedges. All these countries know what's coming. A second Trump term means economic nationalism on steroids. So they're realigning early. Chapter 3. India and Vietnam. The skeptics shift. Then there are the skeptics. Countries like India, with U.S. import tariffs as high as 52%. Vietnam, at a staggering 72% on some categories. Even these high-barrier nations are reportedly exploring tariff reductions. Why? Because they've seen what happens when you don't play ball. Targeted tariff hikes. Delayed tech transfers. Restricted U.S. investment. They're reading the writing on the wall, and they're moving to keep the U.S. market open. Chapter 4. The Trump Doctrine. Trade through strength. Love him or hate him, Trump's doctrine is clear. America will no longer subsidize the world. That means tariffs on countries that cheat, dump, or manipulate. Tariff exemptions for allies who buy U.S. goods. Trade realignment around mutual benefit, not globalism. It's not isolationism. It's reciprocal realism. And it's working. Because when access to the U.S. market is the prize, everyone plays defense. Chapter 5. Tariffs as tools, not weapons. Mainstream economists warned that Trump's tariffs would crash the global economy. But here's what really happened. U.S. manufacturing rebounded in key sectors. China lost leverage and faced domestic slowdown. Allies returned to the table with better offers. The truth? Tariffs aren't inherently bad. They're tools, and in the right hands, they reshape global incentives. Trump used them not as punishment, but as pressure points. And now countries are blinking. Chapter 6. The quiet diplomacy behind the shift. Behind the headlines, U.S. trade envoys, backed by Trump's team, have been negotiating hard. The new pitch: lower your tariffs now or face higher U.S. rates later. Offer market access or lose it. Prefer bilateral deals over WTO paralysis. It's a brutal negotiation strategy, but it's working. Because the choice is simple: access America or face exclusion. Chapter 7. Why the timing matters. Why are countries making these moves now? Because the global clock is ticking. The WTO is weakened. The Biden-era trade agenda is incoherent. And Trump's return to power is no longer hypothetical. It's probable. That means the 2025 tariff reset is coming. New rates will be harsher. Exemptions will be limited. So smart nations are moving now, before the storm. Chapter 8. The winners and losers. So who wins in this new tariff era? Winners. U.S. exporters, especially in agriculture and energy. U.S.-friendly nations with reciprocal trade deals. American consumers in sectors where supply chains are reshoring. Losers. China, facing increased isolation. The EU, still dragging its feet on reciprocity. globalist institutions like the WTO and IMF. This is a realignment of global economic gravity, and America is pulling countries back into orbit. Chapter 9. How this changes the 2024 narrative. The media won't say it yet, but Trump's trade policy is becoming vindicated by facts. When tariffs were introduced, they were called self-harm, trade war idiocy, economic suicide. Now, countries are voluntarily reducing tariffs on U.S. goods before Trump even steps back into office. That's not fear. That's strategic respect. Chapter 10. The Era of Trade Realignment. We're witnessing the death of free trade dogma and the birth of a new model. Reciprocal deals, bilateral leverage, national interest first. Trump didn't destroy trade. He reset it. And now, countries are moving early, not to punish America, but to join it. The world didn't decouple. It recalibrated. And if this trend continues, America won the trade war. Not with bombs, not with bailouts, but with tariffs.